And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
First day of the weekend, showing a lot of IFR here out over the Bering Sea, but staying off the coastline until you get up here into the Bering Strait, and then it looks like the north side of the Seward Peninsula area. And then right along the northwest coast, as well as the Arctic coast and portions of the North Slope, but south of the Brooks Range, all the way down to the Gulf of Alaska, Kodiak Island, into the northern panhandle, good VFR, marginal VFR with a touch of IFR here for the coast of Prince of Wales Island. And then for the afternoon, marginal VFR over the southern three quarters of the southeast coast. VFR for the interior all the way up until you get to the North Slope, and then becomes IFR on out to the Arctic coast. And some IFR northern eastern Bering Sea, again remaining off the coastline here, but covering the eastern Aleutians, marginal VFR from Atka to Shimia. And for the morning, Sunday, northern Bering Sea, IFR over Nunivak Island now to about Cape Newenham, to the Bering Strait, northern Seward Peninsula, Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast, IFR, marginal for the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, VFR. South of the Brooks Range again, right on down the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, with marginal VFR starting to increase over Prince William Sound, eastward to Yakutat. A little bit of IFR now over the northern panhandle. And then for the afternoon, marginal VFR from Dixon entrance up the coast all the way into Prince William Sound, Kodiak Island now, but staying VFR here at least through Sunday afternoon for areas of the Brooks Range all the way down to Cook Inlet, northeast Bristol Bay, and also Norton Sound, Seward Peninsula, VFR. IFR staying off the coast out over the central and northern Bering Sea, marginal for the Aleutians. And for passes, Anatuvik and Adigan, looks like a VFR day, at least the crest of the mountains there southward. Could be some marginal VFR, lower conditions on north entrance of both passes. And then for the Alaska Range, Lake Clark, Merrill, Rainy, windy, all open all the way around, including Isabel and Mentasta. Good VFR for the next couple of days. Tanita, Saturday, Sunday, VFR. Portage, same forecast, VFR for Chilkoot and White. And for the freezing levels, about 6,000 feet here over the southern southeast coast, 4,000 feet up into the Copper River Basin, northward, 2,000 feet for the Brooks Range there. And freezing levels varying from 2,000 feet over the central Bering to 8,000 to 10,000 feet here over the east central Aleutians. And for icing, we've got a weakening front coming right through this area here, so there could be some areas of considerable moderate icing here, Alaska Peninsula and the northern Bering Sea there, extending west-southwestward back toward Shimia and Attu. Otherwise, the southeast coast showing pretty good chance of some considerable moderate icing there over much of the area. And jet stream here, got south to north flow with the strongest jet into the coast of British Columbia there, just clipping Misty Fjords area. Lighter as you head west here under the trough axis, and then they become northwest at about 80 knots there across Kodiak Island. And the stronger jet just south of the Aleutians here, as you can see, blowing eastward there up to 125 knots. And for 9,000 feet, active low here way back to the west. Good westerlies, 45 to 65 knots, central and western Aleutians, extreme southern Bering Sea area. High pressure, light winds over the interior into the Gulf. And then we've got southerlies, 40 to 45 knots there for the southeast coast. And at 3,000 feet, could see some 40-knot winds there blowing across Prince of Wales Island in toward Port Alexander and Sitka. Otherwise, light variable winds here for interior Alaska, again, Kodiak Island, all the way up to the Arctic coast. And a little breezier out here, especially as you head west, with west winds up to 55 knots there along and just south of the western Aleutians. Northwest 35 here for the eastern Aleutians. So with those northwest winds, show some light to isolated moderate turbulence there for the Fox Islands, with the heavier turbulence out to the west over the southwest Bering Sea from about Adak westward to the Komodorskis. And then also with that windy condition for the Panhandle, got some moderate turbulence down that way.